Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about previous year question paper of SBI Clerk. In this paper today we are going to discuss what are the answers for those questions and why the rest of the options are not the answers for those questions. So let's get into the question paper now. So the question paper is going to start with 71 to 79. As we are dealing with the verbal ability today, I'm going to give a brief explanation about the question paper of the prelims SBI clerk. So the first question, it is displayed on the screen, direction 71 to 79. Read the passage given below and answer the following questions. So first they have come up with a passage, so we know very well what are the things we have to do whenever a passage is appeared on the question paper. First and foremost, we have to read the passage what they have given, then we need to understand what they are trying to say from that. So after that the questions will be followed. So the first question what they have asked, what effect of the pandemic on the restaurants has been mentioned by the author in the passage. So there are some options like A, B, C, D and E. So if you read the passage properly, then you can directly answer the question, and it takes some time too. So I suggest you, whenever you are dealing the passages in any competitive exam, try to put it at the last, so that will help you out to save your time, and you can apply the rest of the time on the remaining questions. So first question they have given, what effect of the pandemic on the restaurants has been mentioned by the author in the uh, author in the passage. Okay, the onset of COVID-19 has brought to a halt an astonishing expansion of restaurants observed in the past decade. So first line, it is speaking about the answer, you can directly go with B. The period during the pandemic led to stop in the growth of restaurants. That is what they have given, halt and astonishing expansion of restaurants. Halt is nothing but stop. So let's move to the second question, I mean the 72. So 72 again. What compelled rich people to start eating out? So what compelled rich people to start eating out? So public space becoming safer for citizens, the rise of capitalism in the market, being able to show off wealth to society, both B and C, and all the above. So if you observe, you can find the two things in the passage. So both B and C can find in the passage. So refer to the following lines in the second passage for justification of the answer. But by the 18th century, capitalism took off, people could show off their wealth. So this is what, so the statements given by option B and C can be corroborated from these lines. So automatically option D becomes the answer. Next, let's move to the next question. According to the passage, why did people prefer eating out before the 17th century? So here you can directly find the answer. Eating at restaurants was cheaper for people than cooking food. That you can directly find in the passage. Next, 74. So when it comes to passage, there is nothing to worry. You have to just read and understand what they are trying to say as from the passage. Before that, you better read the questions once. If you read the questions once, automatically you can find the answers while you are reading the passage. So so the 74th question is on the screen now. Let's read it. What conundrum does the author present against the growth of restaurants the past century? This also they have told. So I can say refer to the re-entrity of the third paragraph from the justification of option D as the answer. So none of the other options give a suitable answer to the question, so directly can go with D. Next. So next passage, and we have 75th question on the screen. How did migrants contribute to a rise in the growth of restaurants? So how did migrants contribute to a rise in the growth of restaurants? What they have done here? So this is also they have given directly in the fourth paragraph. So in the fourth paragraph you can directly find. So it is mentioned here. Yeah, it's directly mentioned. You can go with option B as the answer. A significant portion of the migrant population started restaurants in the countries they came to. That is what they have done the contribution. Next, 76. 79. Okay, one more. 76. According to the passage, which of the following is true regarding the influence of changing work patterns in the past century? This is also a direct question you can find in the answer. So you can go with option D directly. People earning more often had less time to cook food at home. Next, 77. Which of the following words can most appropriately fill the blank given in the passage? So they have given here that means dash till further. So whenever you have to understand one thing here, whenever they give a fill in the blank in the passage, what we have to do before that blank, you need to read one sentence. After the blank, you need to read another sentence. Then finally you can understand the context what they are trying to say us. From that you have to choose the correct option there: coping, closing, moving and living. So if you see here, coping is nothing but improving along with another thing. So you can go with the and you know the meaning of close, make, move, leave and all. So from the context there we can clearly understand option D, that is moving, is the correct answer. That means moving still further, that is not coping or something else. Moving still further from the utilitarian model of the 18th century and before. Next, which of the following word is more similar in the meaning of the word flow is highlighted in the passage? Yes, flow, it is mentioned in the passage. So what is the meaning of flow? Automatically you can go with movement, implication, abstraction, deduction, increase. These are all speaking about something, a different word. Implication is nothing but implying something, abstraction to stop, deduction to reduce, increase. They have given the one more word as a synonym. So you can go with directly flow as the flow. The synonym is movement. Next, finally, the 79th answer. Choose the word that can most appropriately replace the highlighted word upshot in the passage. So if you want to replace something, it must give the same meaning. Actually, the meaning of upshot is the final result. The final result is considered as upshot. Now, reminder, history, requirement, consequence and condition. Here consequence is a result of something. So you can find the nearest word as consequence. So upshot is nothing but the final result. Consequence is also a result of a situation. So the similar word you are going with. So always try to choose a similar word whenever you are replacing it. So by that, contextually the meaning of the sentence will not be changed. So finally we have completed the passage here, and my suggestion is always try to read, understand and then go with the questions in the passage. Then only we can find the correct answers. And you know very well, nowadays in the banking exams, they are choosing such a paragraphs like where we have to read and find the answer. We cannot apply any skimming or scanning process on the passages. From that we cannot get the correct answers too. And it is sometimes it becomes a trap for the participants who are writing that exam. Like who applies the skimming and scanning, for sure they are going to choose a wrong answer. So now let's get into the grammar part. So they have given a direction of 80, 81. In the given question, a part of the sentence is given in bold, which may or may not be grammatically correct. Choose the correct alternative for the highlighted phrase to make the sentence grammatically and logically correct. So, because the man is angry on the teacher, he wrote a complaining letter to the principal. So, if you observe here, whenever we are angry, because the man was, so they are speaking about the past. The rest of the sentence is completely in the past. If you observe, he wrote a complaining letter to the principal. Then you should not use is there. You must use was. So you can and whenever we are speaking about angry, we should not use on. We must use with. So automatically the answer becomes was angry with the teacher. Now let's move to the 81. A fall in demand is enough to demonstrate that consumers have forget about the product and moved on to other products. Here one thing we need to understand, whenever we are using have, has, had, after that we must use V3 form of the verb. So here consumers is okay, that consumers they are speaking about consumers, it is plural, so we have used have. After that we must use V3. Forgotten, so have forgotten. So now find the option have forgotten. We have only one option. You can directly go with C, have forgotten about the product and moved on to other products. Hope you understood this. If you don't understand, please comment your question number. If you don't understand any question, please let me know which question you didn't understand, and comment your question in the comment section. From that I can reply you back. Next, 82 to 85. In each sentence a word is omitted. Choose the word from the given options that can fit into the blank without changing the intended meaning. So these are all the fill in the blanks. So whenever we go with the fill in the blanks, we must know the meanings of each and every word. So first they have given lethargy. Lethargy means lazy, gloomy, dark, desperate, feeling or showing a hopeless sense that a situation is so bad as to be impossible to deal with. Desperate. Next, resilient, able to withstand or able to recover or face something greatly. Next, pervasive. Pervasive is nothing but spreading widely. Now the question is, Jeff faced many hardships, nothing but the problems. Jeff faced many hardships in life, but he always found a way to be. So whenever we are using a conjunction but, the sentence must be contradictory. That means opposite to the first one. So first is Jeff faced many hardships. That is negative sentence. But he always found a way to be. Now find a positive word here. Lethargy, gloomy, desperate, resilient, pervasive. In this, resilient is the correct word, which is speaking about his way how he found to be. That means Jeff faced many hardships in life, but he always found a way to be resilient. Means happy. Next, second one. 83. With this dash rainfall, we might get flooded out. We might get flooded out. That means that's a huge rainfall. So in such case, what kind of adjective we should give to rainfall? With this dash rainfall they are asking. So we must find an adjective here for that rainfall. So I can go with incessant means, let me tell the meanings first. Incessant means without any end, continuous. Irreversible, which cannot be reversible. Indecisive, which we cannot take decision. Amiable means friendly. Dormant, that means having normal physical function suspended or slowed down for a period of time. That means they are not functioning right now. That is called dormant. So now you can go directly with incessant, without end, continuously. With this continuous rainfall or incessant rainfall, we might get flooded out. Next, third question. 84. The plant has a pungent smell. Pungent is nothing but a strong smell, which makes it very dash to bees. Violent. Violent is possessing or showing courage or determination. Next, vigorous means strong or healthy or full of energy. Next, appealing, attractive or interesting. Robust is nothing but strong. Diffusing, spread over a wide area or between a large number of people. So now the pungent they are speaking about, which makes it very so you can directly go with appealing, that means attractive or interesting to the bees. Now next let's move to the 85. If the thermostat does not dash the temperature properly, it may not trigger the heating unit. So what does a thermostat do here? So thermostat always measures it. So you should find a word which speaks about measuring. So let's go with first of all ramble. So the word ramble is not the correct word there. Ramble means move here and there. It means like roaming. Next, gauge. Gauge is nothing but measure something. Next, transit. It's a process or an act or an example of passing through or over. That means moving here and there. Next, flush. Flush means become red and hot, typically as a result of illness and or strong emotions. Sometimes you can see that's a kind of blush also. Next, resig. Resig means organize differently or rearrange also. So if the thermostat does not, I already told you should find a word which speaks about the measuring. So you can directly go with the gauge. Next, 86 to 90. In each of the following questions, a sentence has been divided into 4 parts. Which one part has an error? Identify the part that has an error and mark that part as your answer. So they are going to give a sentence and they have divided into number of fragments. Find the correct word. Find the correct fragment which has an error in that. So let's read the sentence now. 86. The hospital has received funding for medical devices and clinical studies. Just now I told you whenever we are using H words like have, has, had, after that we must use V3. So automatically the error is in fragment A. The hospital has received is the answer. Next, 87. Aryabhatta noted that the luminosity of the moon and other planets are due to reflected sunlight. So here Aryabhatta noted that the luminosity they are speaking about, they are not speaking about the moon and other planets. Here the subject in the sentence is the luminosity. The luminosity of the moon and other planets, whenever a subject is attached with the help of a prepositional phrase, that must be eliminated and the first word is considered as the subject. So the luminosity becomes the subject and that is singular. We should not use are, we should use is. So the sentence becomes like this. Aryabhatta noted that the luminosity of the moon and other planets is due to reflected sunlight. Next. Rainbows can be observed whenever there are water drops in the air and sunlight shining. Now, so rainbows can be observed is wrong answer. Whenever we are speaking about be form, we must use v1 form after modal verbs. Can be, it is not can been. Can be. Rainbows can be observed. So fragment A we have an error, so go with option A. Next, 89. Indraprastha was one of the 5 places demanded for the sake of peace and to avert a disastrous war. So Indraprastha was one of the 5 places we should speak about. Whenever we are using the phrase called one of the, after that the word must be the plural one. Indraprastha was one of the 5 places. So the error is in fragment B. Go with the option B. Next. Due to the climate change, deserts are expanding while heat waves are becoming more common. We don't have any word called commons. Go with common. Are becoming more common. So fragment D we have an error. Go with option D. Next. So in the following questions, 5 sentences are given. Rearrange these sentences to make a contextually and meaningful paragraph. Then answer the following questions. Okay. So here they have given 5 sentences. Always remember, whenever we are dealing with this sentence rearrangement, we should read all the sentences what they have given, and we should find the linkers at the end of the sentence. So the first one, if you take, so let's read these lines first. An insufficient amount of sleep can lead to serious repercussions. Okay. Also, it loses the abilities to concentrate, think clearly, and process memories. Okay. Sleep is an essential function that allows your body and mind to recharge and leaves you refreshed. Okay. For instance, without enough sleep, the brain cannot function properly. Okay. And healthy sleep also helps the body to remain healthy and stave off diseases. So if you find they are completely speaking about the sound health, so that you can find directly in E. Healthy sleep also helps the body to remain healthy and stave off diseases. So the advantages they started speaking, and you can find one more advantage also here. Also it loses the healthy sleep also helps the body to remain healthy and stave off diseases. Also it loses the abilities to concentrate, think clearly, and process memories. So these two are the advantages. That's the reason you can find the link here. First one is also an introductory sentence, as well as B we have taken because they are speaking about the advantages in both the sentences. Next, I think we have to go with the disadvantages now. That is mentioned first at sentence A. An insufficient amount of sleep can lead to serious repercussions, and you can find the attached sentence for this is sleeping is essential function that allows your body and mind to recharge and leaves you refreshed. And finally you can go with D. For instance, without enough sleep, the brain cannot function properly. So if you observe this structure here, first they started with introduction, then after the advantages and one disadvantage sentence, and finally the conclusion sentences. So we should understand the sense of these sentences. We can get these things, we can get this type of knowledge when you start reading more and more. So try to have the habit of reading. So from that you can get the sentences as well as the answers with an ace. Now let's move to the next section. I mean the next direction. So that is 96 to 100. In each question 3 words are given in bold, which may or may not be in their correct positions. Choose the correct sequence of the words from the given options to make the sentence grammatically correct and meaningful. So let's see the first question. A wildlife of an eagle was carved out of wood for the sculpture event. So for the sculpture event, what they have done, we can understand from this sentence to directly that we can just change. So we can go with like this. What the dash of an eagle, the wildlife of an eagle cannot be carved. So you can go with the sculpture. The sculpture of an eagle was carved out of wood for the wildlife event. So you can find an event which is a wildlife event and you can carve the sculpture, not the wildlife. So the exchange must be done with A and C. So automatically answer becomes C, B and A. Next, 97. Blood was analyzed. Okay, blood was analyzed through an diagnostic machine to figure out whether the patient was suffering from the cancer or flu. I think no rearrangement is needed here, because when I have read the sentence, I have found it grammatically as well as contextually correct. So blood was analyzed through a diagnostic machine to figure out whether the patient was suffering from cancer or the flu. So this also, I mean the reading also can help you to find the answer directly, whether exchange is needed or not. So 98. Without any solitude, or an crazy is bound to go a bit introvert. So I can go with without any solitude. So they are speaking, I think they are speaking about the introvert here. Without any solitude, an introvert is bound to go a bit crazy. That means whenever we leave an introvert like that, I mean without any solitude, they become a bit crazy. That is what they are speaking about. So directly you can go with answer A, C and B. So that is option C. Next, 99. So the allowed material permeable a large amount of water to seep through. To seep is nothing but to flow through. And the allowed, so the allowed, we don't have any allowed material. So material is a noun and we must need a adjective here. So then go with the permeable. The permeable material allowed a large amount of water to seep through. So this is the correct sentence. So permeable membrane is like a membrane which has a lot of holes. From that the water flows through. So that allowed. So the permeable material allowed a large amount of water to seep through is the answer. So automatically you can take the option as D as the correct answer. Next, 100. I mean the last question. The astronomer observation a new star during or and discover recent. The astronomer dash a new star. What did he do a new star? So I think discover. The astronomer, that's it. The astronomer discover a new star during. So during observation he has done that. During what kind of that is recent observation. So the astronomer, go with option B now. The astronomer discover a new star during a recent discovery. That is what the answer. That's it. So that gives the correct meaning to the sentence. So the answer is option A, BCA. This is all about the previous question paper of SBI Clerk, and thank you so much for paying your lots of attention towards the class. Hope it will be very helpful for your further exams and all. For any further details relevant to banking exams and all, you can kindly contact us. You can just mention in the comment box that you have any doubt or something relevant to these topics and all. We are there to help you all. So thank you once again. Have a nice day.